Well, if I could pick one thing, it would be our property taxes. We should find some way where we don't price senior citizens out of a home that they've lived in, improved, and been their joy, and they've paid property taxes on it the whole time they live there. And then once they become on fixed income, then they can no longer live there, and they have to think about moving out of the state. But not only is this happening to senior citizens, a lot of people who are maybe in the $150,000 income range eventually decide, no, I cannot afford the property taxes, and move to other places. They talk about industry not coming to New Jersey because of the high taxes, but really when you look at it, there's probably a bigger portion of the people who's making $150,000 a year who are moving out of New Jersey who would equal the companies that they're saying that won't come here. The middle class and the working poor is paying the whole cost of not only in income taxes but also in property taxes. It takes a much bigger portion of their salaries to pay property taxes than it does millionaires, so there is no shared sacrifice as far as that is concerned. But there's that 1% who don't pay hardly any income tax either. They are the one that's making all the money. Right now, a top CEO in this country makes 380 times more than the average worker. I don't mean his janitor, I mean an average worker makes, and can you tell me that they work 380 times harder? No, they don't. It's just the way our system is so out of whack until eventually our capital system is going to do what I call a self-cannibalize itself, and then we will no longer be a capitalist country as we know it. Then I looked at the voting record of my opponent, and it seems to me that he's voted against too many things that would improve the quality of life of the average American citizen. Minimum wage, voted against it 3 times, although it's passed and our governor vetoed it. A woman's right to choose, he's voted against. Although there's no need to do this anymore, but even marriage equality, they voted against every time it's come up. They've made an argument ever since 1957, I think, when they were raising the minimum wage from 75 cents to $1, is that it will create unemployment. But there is no study anywhere where it's been proven that raising the minimum wage will increase unemployment. If there's anything, it indicates that it maybe stimulates the economy. If you give a person who's making $15,000 a year $1 or more an hour, they're not going to invest in the stock market. They don't even have enough to even start thinking about saving for kids. They're going to put it right back in the economy. And so that is a way of stimulating the economy. And so that argument about increasing unemployment has never been true, so it's time to raise the minimum wage in the state again. I feel that there are not enough programs where kids can borrow money at a reasonable rate to go to college, and we also got to hold down the cost of tuition. Then after that, we got to find some way to bring more jobs into New Jersey here. Maybe some kind of incentive for industry to come in as long as they hire from within the state. So those are things that we've got to start looking at. The other thing is, as far as getting jobs after you get out of college, there's still shortage in the area of what we call STEM now. We've got to start emphasizing that more in high school. That's science, technology, engineering, and math. So students who go into those areas, I think they will still find it pretty easy to get a job and find employment. So that's why we got to start at the grade school level of emphasizing these areas, where, like I say, the cream of the crop can rise to the top regardless of their location or what township they live in. You know, we haven't had anything about voting rights in here yet, but if there is ever anything about everybody needing an ID card to vote because of voter fraud, which there hasn't been, that's fraud in itself. I'm a person who, during my senior year in college, went to my professor of air science and asked him if I get arrested demonstrating downtown Tuskegee for the right to vote, Was that going to affect my ability to still earn my commission and go into the United States Air Force and learn to fly and fight and possibly die for the country that I'm not yet free to vote in? So that's kind of some of the stuff that will make me see red. So I am a veteran, and I understand their problems also.